You know those moments that just feel way too perfect to be random? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty powerful idea. What if all those little coincidences are actually the universe speaking to us? Like in a kind of secret code.
I mean, really think about it for a second. That phone call from the exact person you were just thinking about, or that song on the radio that seems to perfectly answer a question you were just wrestling with in your head. These moments, they feel like they're arranged, right? Like there's a reason for them. Well, we're about to explore why that feeling you get isn't just you imagining things. In fact, it might just be the key to understanding, well, reality itself.
All right, so let's jump into our first big idea here. What if those moments we usually just brush off as random aren't accidents at all? What if they're actually responses? Imagine for a second that life isn't just some cold machine, but more like a living, intelligent mirror. And look, this isn't some new agey concept that just popped up. The famous psychologist Carl Jung actually gave it a name, synchronicity. He basically described it as this amazing meeting point where your inner world, your thoughts, your feelings, connects with something that happens in the outside world in a really meaningful way. The key thing here is that the connection isn't about logic. It's not A causes B. It's about meaning.
And honestly, we see this stuff all the time, right? We've all had those classic moments. You're thinking about a friend and bam, they text you out of the blue. You keep seeing 11:11 on the clock, like everywhere you look. Or maybe you get stuck in traffic and you're super frustrated, but later you find out it actually kept you safe from an accident up ahead. See, these aren't just weird flukes. They're like little whispers, little nudges from a reality that's actually listening.
Even a genius like Albert Einstein touched on this. His take on it really makes you think. It's this idea that behind the curtain of what we call randomness, there might be something else entirely, a kind of profound, intelligent order pulling the strings.
Okay, so this brings us to our next major point, and this is where things get really interesting. The idea is that your world, the reality you see out there, it's not this fixed, solid thing. It's actually a direct reflection of what's going on inside you.
Most of us are taught to see the world in a straight line. A causes B, simple cause and effect. And in that view, life is just something that happens to you. But there's another way to look at it. Let's call it a resonant reality. In this model, your state of being is what attracts B. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens through you. Suddenly, the world isn't a machine anymore. It's a mirror.
Now, this next point is absolutely crucial. It's a misunderstanding that trips up so many people. We tend to think that if we just want something badly enough, it'll just show up. But that's not actually how the mirror works.
Here's the real secret. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. The universe isn't some cosmic vending machine where you just put in a wish and get what you want. Think of it more like a tuning fork. It resonates with your core frequency, your state of being. So if you are vibrating with a feeling of gratitude, reality literally has no choice but to reflect back things for you to be grateful for. It's a huge shift, right? It's the shift from simply wanting something to actually being it. Okay, so if the world is a mirror that's just reflecting what we are, then the big question is, how do we communicate with it? How do we change the reflection? Well, this brings us to the true language of creation, feeling, emotion. Here's a great way to think about it. Your thoughts, they're like the blueprints for what you want to build in your life. But the blueprints alone don't build anything, right? It's the feeling, the emotion, that's the creative fire. That's the energy that actually brings the blueprint to life and tells that mirror of reality what image to reflect back to you.
The mystic Neville Goddard actually laid this out in a really simple process. Step 1. Imagine the end result. See it clearly in your mind. But step 2 is the real game changer. You have to actually inhabit the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Feel it as if it's already real, right now. And when you can do that, something amazing happens. You allow what he called the bridge of incidents to form. And that's just a fancy way of saying all those synchronicities, those chance meetings, those little intuitive nudges, they start to line up and naturally lead you right to your goal.
So, I know what you might be thinking. If this is all so powerful, why doesn't everybody know about it? Why does life so often feel, hard and random? That's a huge question, and to answer it, we have to zoom out a bit. We're going to move from the how into the why, into a much bigger story about the nature of reality itself.
So the story goes something like this. In the very beginning, there wasn't a bunch of different things. There was just one, a single, unified consciousness, pure awareness. But think about it. For awareness to really know itself, it needed something to experience. It needed contrast.
So what did it do?
it decided to play a grand, cosmic game of hide-and-seek with itself. And to make the game real, to make the adventure of discovery truly meaningful, it set a crucial rule for the game.
And that rule was amnesia. We had to forget where we came from. So every challenge, every joy, every little synchronicity, it's all part of the game. They're like breadcrumbs left on the trail, leading us back to the ultimate realization. Awakening is just remembering it was you all along. All right, so let's land this plane. Let's bring all these big ideas together in our final section. If this cosmic game is real, if the power to create your reality really does come from within, what does that mean for you? Like, right here, today.
Well, first and foremost, it means this. You are not a victim of your circumstances, period. That whole idea of life just happening to you, of you being a pawn on some cosmic chessboard, it completely dissolves. Instead, you are the observer who is actively shaping what is being observed. And this isn't just some far-out philosophy, by the way. It strangely echoes what quantum physics tells us about the observer effect. It means your awareness isn't just passively watching the movie of your life. You're the one in the director's chair. And this is the ultimate realization. You are the dreamer and you are the dream. You're the painter, but you're also the painting. You are the very consciousness that dreams up a reality and then dives into it to experience it all firsthand.
And you know, what's amazing is that this isn't some brand new idea. It's ancient wisdom. Sages and mystics from all over the world have been pointing to this one central truth for thousands of years. The journey to understand the universe isn't out there, it's in here.
So let's leave it with this. If it's true, if the universe really is a mirror reflecting your state of being, and if every coincidence is a little wink from the cosmos guiding you home, then there's really only one question left to ask. Now that you're starting to remember the rules of the game, what reality are you going to choose?